You're a mum, you're a mum, you're a busy mum. Come listen to the Busy Mum podcast. Life hacks and inspiration for the busy modern mum.
Our latest sponsor for the Busy Mum podcast is Amelia from Wonder Birthing. Wonder Birthing supports pregnant women and their partners on their exciting journey into early parenthood. Some of their offerings include birth education courses, including hypnobirthing, relaxation, and birth partner preparation for all those dads out there. Amelia also offers doula support during pregnancy, birth, and postnatal periods. So if you need this, please contact Amelia on 0498 57 8601 or visit her website at www.wonderbirthing.com.au. Now let's dive into the latest interview on the Busy Mum podcast. Well, welcome, Belinda, to the Busy Mum podcast. How are you this morning?
Thank you. I'm wonderful. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Now, Belinda owns the Skin Clinic in Concord, and off air, we were just having a really good conversation about a lot of the women that you see come to you. Can we just talk a bit more about that, like what you do first and about that? And
yeah, sure.
And yeah.
The Skin Clinic Concord, I've had that for coming up 4 years now. Treat 98% of women is my main clientele, my main demographic, and it's usually women, ages 35 and over, working women, mums, busy mums. But yeah, something that's been irking me recently is when we're at the point of sale or ending the service and we're doing the transaction, there's this fear around putting beauty purchases, might be cosmetic injectables, could be their normal monthly facial, could be a few skincare products. There's this bother about putting it on the card for fear of the husband seeing it and, getting the lecture or getting a talking to. And, I say it can be a bit funny sometimes, and we might have a little bit of a giggle and a laugh. And, yeah, I get it. But it's actually really starting to bother me now. It's, it's women that are earning their own money. They have their own businesses, some of them, but still there's this this mentality that they've got to hide these transactions from their partner. So I suppose it always makes me, second guess things a little bit.
Yeah, why are they doing that? Like if they're earning their own money.
Yeah.
And they're obviously spending their own money. Like my husband doesn't have a problem with any of that. I do pay in cash, but not because he doesn't want to know about it. He goes, if you want to do it, do it. He does saunas and everything at Sultry down the road. He spends his money on that. He's got his own money as well.
Of course.
But for us, it was very much like I didn't need to have my own separate bank account because I do run a lot of the financials for business and for our personal. But Ben, he wanted his own bank account and that just in case, he wanted to buy me something. And because I run and look at all the purchases, he didn't want to know. Course. He didn't want me to know he was buying me a surprise. So there's that side of things. But I don't think all husbands are like that. And it's
not all, definitely not all. I mean, my husband's a good example of that. I mean, he doesn't even have access to our online banking or anything like that. He's just like, yeah, you deal with it, whatever. So he wouldn't have a clue what was going on. But, yeah, I suppose it's just sometimes I see a genuine fear, and I suppose that always kind of bothers me a little bit. But also, I've kind of, the feminist is like, well, you've got your own money. As long as you're not hurting anyone, you're not out there buying drugs or, gambling your money away. You're doing something for you. And I suppose I want women to put themselves first sometimes or, and I suppose that's maybe where we get the guilt from about, putting ourselves first sometimes and looking at something like a facial as a luxury and a bit
absolutely.
a bit excessive.
When you become a mum, you lose your identity, which I think you might have mentioned in one of your answers here, but you do get it back. But even before kids, I didn't go and have facials or do anything like that, but I did go to the gym a lot. And I spent a lot of money on workout gear and, gym memberships and classes and stuff like that. Whereas now, I have a gym membership, but I might go get more facials because I am getting a bit older. and you look at yourself in the mirror and you do look a little bit more tired and weathered. Actually, one question I have for you like with my skin in particular,
Sure.
like it's pretty good for what it is, I think. I don't get many breakouts, but I do find like occasionally when I look in the mirror, like the skin is a bit dimply sometimes, if that makes sense. What is that from?
Could be dehydrated. And it's something we all are. We're all dehydrated. And if you're exercising a lot or if, sweating a lot and losing a lot of bodily fluids, the external layers of skin or the cells are the last thing to hold on to any sort of, water-based liquid because they're about to die and come off anyway. So that's why we need to attack hydration topically, because everyone says, I drink 3 litres of water a day. But, I mean, the external layer of skin is the last thing to receive any benefit from drinking copious amounts of water. So hydration, exfoliation and hydration.
A sprinkle, like a spray, a water spray?
Well, we've got beautiful serums, so water-weighted hyaluronic acid-based serums, which will hydrate but also attract moisture from the air to the surface of the skin and retain that water, just so you look dewy and fresh and hydrated and, all the keywords you want to hear.
Exactly. You, give me the you.
But, come in for a skin consult and I'll tell you when I see it.
I should actually. Yes. Because I remember once, like, I actually do my own eyebrows as well. I know, lame.
No, it's okay. No judgment.
Well, because I have quite blonde eyebrows, so I dye them so you can actually see them. Otherwise, it looks like I have no eyebrows. But when I did get them done, like I'm talking 15 years ago, the lady said, oh, yeah, your skin, you need to look after that because when you get older, you will notice it. And I think now I'm noticing it now. Oh, my God. Maybe I should have listened to her 15 years ago.
It's never too late. Never too late. And it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to come and see me 3 times a week or use, a 6-step routine.
6-step process.
It can be very easy. And I think that's the preconception a lot of women have, that it's got to be long-winded and complicated, and it doesn't. I'm happy to work within budget and also, whatever you're willing to do. Some people like the 6-step routine. Some people just want to cleanse their skin once a day. Whatever works for you.
Beautiful. So I will go back to my first question because now we've covered up on that topic, which was really, it was front of mind for you. And I think it was important to say that, women should put themselves first, because if they look after themselves first, and then we can go and look after our husbands and our children and all the other things we have to do as well as work. So how do you
definitely
define yourself? And we know that your business is the Skin Clinic in Concord. Tell us a bit more about how you got into that business as well.
It was hilarious. I've been in the industry for nearly 20 years. I had a short break to have my 2 children, who are now 6 and 7. So when I was just at home with the kids, I think my son was about 2.5 maybe, I was going and getting facials at the Skin Clinic in Concord by the friend of my niece. That's why I went. It was local. I knew her. Started having facials done. She mentioned that the owner was looking at selling the business, and me just being nosy just went, oh, yeah, keep me posted. Let me know, how that all goes. And before I knew it, the owner was calling me and saying, oh, I heard you expressed a bit of interest. Did you want to have a chat? And I was like, again, not thinking much of it. Yeah, I'll come for a chat. I'm nosy. I'll go see what this is all about. And had a meeting, and 2 months later, I was the new owner of the Skin Clinic in Concord. I know. And that's kind of how a lot of things happen for me, to be honest. I don't know why. I don't know. I just fall into these things. And, it was that moment where I was discussing with my parents, and I think I realised if I don't do this, I think it's going to be a regret. I'm going to die wondering what could have been. Yes. And, I was like a deer stuck in the headlights for the first 6 months. It was like, what have I done? What have I done?
What were you doing before this and before you had your babies?
Yep. So as a beauty therapist, I worked at various clinics in Des Moines and Balmain. Prior to that, in high school, just had retail sort of skills and experience. But, just again fell into being a beauty therapist as well, funny enough.
It really sounds like a perfect
I was
match.
in my retail job, and one day I just looked around and I went, oh, I don't want to be like these nothing against that, but I don't want to be stuck in retail in my 50s, and thought, what do I like doing? And I thought, okay, well, I love going to salons. I love getting my hair done. I love getting my nails done. I love the environment. I love having the chat. I love the carry-on that goes with it sometimes. And I literally back then pulled out the yellow pages because there was no Google, and opened
I'm on
up
the
yellow
same
pages.
wavelength as you. Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. Pulled out the yellow pages, looked up beauty schools. Conveniently, there was one right across the road on George Street, opposite where I was working. On my lunch break, I went in and enrolled myself.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Things seem to happen naturally and easy for you, though. Do you?
Yeah. I think I just get to a point I make my mind up and then nothing stops me.
Okay. So do you do any like visualizations or anything like that around it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
And vision boarding and all that?
I haven't vision boarded per se, but actually, funny enough, my first boss in beauty taught me, and I still do it to this day, to look at your appointment book. This is in relation to work. Mm-hmm. Look at your appointment book for the next day and visualise how that day is going to go. Visualise who's coming in, what you might talk about, what treatment they might want to talk about, what they could have, what their concerns are. Oh, yes, she's got a boy and he started school last year, and, I'll ask about that. And it's something I think I've taken into everyday life as well. I kind of do it, I don't know, just without thinking now. Of a night time. I'm like, right, I'm going to get up at this time. I'm going to do this. I've got to get back to that person, and then I'm going to get in at this time, and I've got to pick up that stock. And I just do it, and it works for me.
Beautiful. Now, I just wanted to jump back in because I've had another thought about how women want to pay cash, right?
Yep.
Is there any way they can pay still with card but have the transaction say something else? Like, you know how they do in the adult shops? How, like, they always give you, like, one of those blank bags,
It's brilliant. Yes.
Blank bags, no branding.
Yeah. Okay. So they're just, I'll just become Woolworths or Coles or something on the transaction.
You could.
Actually, this is brilliant.
You could, like that could be a good workaround. Just saying.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
The minds are ticking now. Thank
you.
It
is ticking over because I think, like, although in one breath I think you shouldn't hide it, and in the other breath I'm like, you can do it this way instead. Bit evil, really, isn't it?
Turn it into a marketing campaign. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. All right. So interesting. I'll get back to you on that one.
Okay, no worries. So just describe for us. You did say, like, the night before you visualise what your day is going to be like. But just describe for us what an actual day in the life of you looks like.
Yeah, okay. I'm one of those annoying people that get up at like 5 or 5:30 every morning.
Boo!
You're either one or the other, aren't you?
No. Yeah.
So I'm the 5:30 person. First thing I do is just make a cup of coffee. I sit down at my computer and I start doing the social media. I start replying to emails. That's where I just get that side of my business done. So it's just routine for me now. My son is also an early riser, so he's up only half an hour later at about 6 o'clock. So, get him breakfast and just start the normal routine of, screaming at kids to put shoes on and do hair and brush teeth and pack your bag while they're, probably being zombies on an iPad or something like that. So that's another issue I have here.
I have a tip for that. So once you've finished, I will give you that
fantastic. Tip. And getting ready and drop them off to school and then go straight into work pretty much. And I can work anywhere depending on the day. Some days I might do a 4-hour day. That's usually a Monday. And then I do 2 longer days. So Wednesdays and Thursdays from 9 till 8. Do all day Saturday from 9 till 3. So I do spend a lot of time away from the home as well. And I'm lucky to be able to do that because my husband's so bloody amazing. So he does so much. And everyone's going to hate this too. He cooks, he cleans, he washes clothes, he folds clothes. He does everything here. He's amazing.
Well, that's why you married him, right? You've got to find an amazing partner. Can't marry like a half-assed partner. You can't go,
Well, you'd hope not.
You're about a 5 out of 10. I'll marry you.
Yeah,
no,
you'll do.
you wait for the 10 out of 10s.
Yeah,
So-
he's one, definitely.
Oh, that's good.
So, yeah. So, and that's how I'm able, I suppose, to, do the long hours and put so much time into the business because, he does his share, definitely. So
do you, have you noticed when you first started taking over the business to now that it's changed quite a lot? Like you mentioned you do socials and stuff like that. 4 years ago, was socials really a thing?
It was, but not to the extent where it is now, probably a classic example is, the way I've really implemented a lot of digital platforms to help my business run and thrive. So I've just launched an app as well, a client app, so my clients can download our app. They can log on, view their appointment history, view their future appointments. They can book their times. They can, just self-manage. They can reschedule their appointments from there. If they get to the day before and go, oh, crap, forgot I had that meeting, they can just manage it themselves. So just taking away a bit of traffic from the phone. And we always encourage, our social media networks as well. I have a VIP Facebook group for clients that have visited within the last 3 months. So they kind of get little advantages, little special offers, or they're in the know about new product launches or treatments or sales before everyone else. So that's something I monitor regularly. And then I've got normal Instagram and Facebook pages as well. Then you've got email traffic. So there's a lot of platforms to kind of manage and be on top of. So that's kind of, it's become, hence why I get up at 5:30 to kind of check on all of that overnight, because I'm not a night owl, but a lot of people are, and they might, flick through an email at midnight or,
we
do their bookings at 10 o'clock at night. You never know.
Yeah, we get a lot of emails overnight. So I usually go to bed about 11 and then I'm up at about 7. And usually my inbox, there's another 20 emails and I'm like, how did that happen? Why aren't you sleeping? When do you sleep? Or we'll get orders in at 3 a.m. and I'm like, 3 a.m.? What are you doing? Yeah. Stop shopping. Well, keep shopping. Stop shopping. But, I kind of feel for them. Maybe they've got insomnia and they can't fall asleep.
A lot of people do. I see it all the time.
I went through that last year, and this year, fingers crossed, doing so much better.
Good.
And I don't sleep with a phone in my bedroom anymore. I kind of
it's a big thing.
I did get a Google Pixel 3 phone, so I think Google's probably knowing everything that I do now. but I'm sure they were listening before anyway. So
oh God, yeah.
Now
exactly.
I did say to you I had a tip for you about the iPad in the morning. So this is what I do in my household. It does require a little bit of work from you as well, though. I've bought those learning books, the nap plan books, or the just exercise books, right? That have got tasks in them. And I always say you have to do 1 page before you can go on the iPad. And if you do this 5 mornings in a row, they kind of get it. So by the 5th morning, they know, they just get up and do a page. So and then they can go on their iPad. So then I feel like I'm doing the right thing by them. I know it sounds silly, but getting their mind.
No. That's funny enough. I bought one of those Napland books. I saw it. I think it was just Woolworths the other day or something, and it's kind of sitting there. So well, I'm going to do that. Thank you.
Yeah, you do. You got to swap it because I know in the school holidays my kids were on iPads a lot, too much a lot. So I was like, okay, as soon as school starts, that's it, back to routine. And I love routine. Yeah. And I think my kids especially, they thrive when there's a routine. If they're left to their own devices, oh, my God. If they just...
Yeah, no. Yep.
Yeah. So that was my one little tip for you. Okay, moving on. Do. What is the best advice you've received? Heebie-jeebie.
Wow. I suppose doing that visualization, going back to that, was one of the best bits of advice.
I think that's great advice. It's really good advice because it sets you up for that day. It's just something I've adopted.
So it's got to be great if I've done it religiously for nearly 20 years or something. Yeah. But I suppose it wasn't advice, but maybe, I don't know, the classic light bulb moment where it's okay to say no. It's okay to protect yourself. And, I think in my 20s I was such a people pleaser. I wanted everyone to like me. And we all deep down kind of do want that. But I think when you hit your 30s, there's that realization that you find your tribe and you find your clique and you find your people and you just do you, I suppose, in a way. But just protecting your energy and learning who or what is maybe not good for you and focusing your energies elsewhere. And, it might be a bit cliche, but
no,
I think it's, I see a lot of women too that struggle with, wanting to be in the cliques and in the in crowd and keeping up with the Joneses, even though they can't afford it, but they might, put on the facade that they've got to buy the Gucci shoes or the, whatever it is,
I just had a thing pop into my head when you said Gucci shoes. Have you watched on Netflix Yummy Mummies?
You are the second person this week to tell me about that show. But, yes, it sounds awful.
It is terrible. And I sat there with my two girls watching it, cringing, going, oh. And, yeah, one of the girls, I'm sure it's a persona that they've put on for the show. I'm sure that she's not that way at home on a regular basis. But she had Gucci, Versace, Burberry, blah, blah, blah. Like, to be honest, that does not inspire me at all. Some of those designer brands are ugly. I'm sorry. And they were never really in fashion in my mind. Like, I like to get a bargain and I like to spend my money wisely because it takes time to earn it. And you got to, if you don't put the respect around money that it deserves, it will just fall out of your bank account without you even trying.
Yeah.
So, as soon as you said Gucci, I was like, you can watch Yummy Mummies. It's trash. It's
all
trashy.
Right. I heard all about it from one of the local hairdressers.
And then my daughters want to watch it a second time, and I'm like, you know what? Let's put David Attenborough back on because, like, you love learning about that. But then, like, they're watching Animals Mate, and I'm like, what am I doing? Seriously. From one extreme to the other.
I know, and then you can't put the news on because then there's something horrific there. It's hard.
It is hard. So where do you go for your entertainment? Is it Netflix, books, podcasts?
Oh, my gosh. I've been so deep in the Netflix recently. I had a 2-week break. A girlfriend of mine put me onto Shameless. I'd never watched Shameless.
I love Shameless.
Wow.
I love it.
I binge watched the whole 8 series. I went hard.
Yes.
So,
hardcore.
That was great. That was great. That was really good. That was kind of the light entertainment I needed on my break. But, yeah, I suppose, I might listen to podcasts occasionally in the car, but I never really commute for very long. My trip from home to work is only 10 minutes, so I don't really have that time to kind of, get into them all too often.
Yeah.
I suppose my main source of entertainment is speaking to people all day, to be honest. It's how I learn. It's how I,
absolutely.
But apart from that, cliche Netflix too.
Okay. And what's your go-to dinner? And, well, since you don't cook, what does your husband cook for you?
He can whip up anything. Like, you could just say, I want this, and he'd be like, right, I'm on it. He's just got that passion for cooking. His Instagram is just full of him cooking, videos, him cooking, doing commentary about the dishes.
Cute. I love it.
I know. But, look, being of Italian background, he cooks a lot of beautiful pastas and Italian meals and dishes, but we as a family love any Asian cuisines, whether it be Japanese or Thai or Vietnamese, whatever it is. We love that. And my kids have got pretty good palates. Like, they're pretty good. They'll eat most things. So we're pretty lucky.
Well,
we don't have to be cooking 4 separate meals.
Yeah, well, that's my household.
No.
I created it myself, though. Like, I'm to blame for that. But how did you get your kids to have such a wide palate? Like, do you just enforce it?
I don't know if it was just us and exposure and just giving them a bit of everything, or if it's just in their DNA. But my daughter, for example, who's 7, will go out and she'll order a dozen natural oysters.
Yeah, okay. That doesn't happen.
Yep. And
really?
Yeah, and she'll just have I know, it's crazy, and we constantly film it every time. I've got films of videos of her just eating natural oysters, and it fascinates me every single time. My son's favourite food is sushi, so he'll just want to eat sushi all the time. So, yeah, I'm pretty lucky. He'll eat the seaweed. They love miso soup, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I just feel like it was just always in them. And I suppose it's because my husband and we like eating a wide variety of foods as well. So, I don't know, I got lucky. But, yeah, I definitely know a lot of people that have a really hard time with their kids and getting them to eat, anything green or, they're very fussy even
we've got,
with ordering food out.
Yes. My daughter, who's 6, the youngest one, does not like tomatoes. She hates them, and I say, well, I hate tomatoes too, but I still eat them. So I think the fussiness is coming from me and my family because we don't eat a wide variety. I eat more now. Like when I turned 30, I ate tomatoes and avocado when I turned 30.
Good work.
And I love it. So I'm like, yeah. But I have made them eat avocado, and they're like, oh, that tastes like nothing. I'm like, yeah. So, and now they will eat tomato.
Yeah, love avocado.
But, like, the struggles we had with our youngest, like, I love her to bits, but she is so stubborn that she wouldn't eat a tomato, and we're like, well, you don't get anything else until that tomato's eaten. The next day, she would still not eat that tomato up until 4:30 when she was like, okay, I'll eat the tomato. 4:30. So from dinner time to the next dinner time, she had nothing. But we had to do that, so now she's like, I know I have to eat this food, I know it's good for me, and she'll have to work herself up and she'll put it with a food that she likes. But, like, that's what I'm going through. Yeah. But I think I've created that for myself because I should have, put my foot down when she was 2 doing the same thing. So,
yeah, I feel for you. It's hard. I see it. It's very difficult. But, yeah, I'm pretty lucky in that respect.
Well, what's one area of your life you would like to improve since food's pretty sorted?
Oh, okay. Well, this comes at a fitting time because for the month of February, I'm off the alcohol. I got into that classic, got into that classic pattern of coming home most nights and opening a bottle of wine. And it was just my routine to kind of come down from the day and, get rid of the adrenaline build up from, being go all day, sometimes for 12 hours on my feet. But, with that, you wake up in the morning, you're a little bit foggy and, just I could be better. So I'm ditching the alcohol, trying to lose a few kilos, trying to do some sort of exercise. And something I've done this year purposely is taking a day off during the week. And it's a day that I do whatever I want to do. I was working 6 days a week last year, and it was getting too much. Yeah. So yeah, made a choice to close the clinic on a Tuesday. Just when I looked, it wasn't really the busiest day across the board. So Tuesday is now my day where I have a Belinda day, and I've been really, really loving it.
And what are you doing on your Belinda day?
So it's probably sad, but I might
Shameless.
I might clean out a cupboard or something. Even just every mum will probably understand. Even just going food shopping on your own or going to a shopping centre on your own is like heaven. Yeah, heaven. It's bloody amazing, right? Mm-hmm. So I do that. I don't really have a timeline. I suppose I like not having a plan on my Tuesday. Even if I want to delve into my Netflix, I'll do that. Or if I want to go for a walk, I'll do that.
You should go ice skating.
Ice skating?
Yeah.
Gosh, I haven't done that for... Whew.
I love ice skating. I'm not really fantastic at it, but I can go around. And I reckon one day I could just go to the rink and go around by myself. Because I take the kids ice skating every now and again, very occasionally. But we did it in school holidays. And I always have to hold their hand. And I kind of just want to go,
All right. Yeah, okay.
Go around and around. But yeah, the skates are pretty crappy, but you know, that's just one thing. Okay, I wanted to ask you two things. With alcohol, how does that affect your skin?
Oh, well, going back to the dehydration. Yeah, no, it definitely does. So it's very dehydrating. It can cause, you know, dilated capillaries, excessive reddening of the skin, irritation. You know, it's not great for the circulatory system as such. And that's what your skin relies on to be, you know, flooded with nutrients and oxygen. So if you're depriving it of that, it can just look dull and flat. And, you know, I know a lot of clients, or even myself, whenever I've gone on a bit of a break, you just look better.
Yeah, okay.
You know, you're less bloated, less fluid retention. There's lots and lots of benefits.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hence why I like doing it from time to time.
Yeah, we've cut down our alcohol intake as well. So we only limit it now to, like, you know, going out rather than staying home and having a drink. It's like, no. And because we enable each other to drink, it's like one we're like, no,
Sorry,
no.
I'm laughing. I just realised my wine fridge is in the background.
It's empty. Is it empty? It's empty.
Oh, God, I hope not. No, there's stuff down the bottom. Well, funny enough, my husband, he actually makes his own wine as well. So this is the problem, right? It's just I could get 50 litres anytime I want, you know.
Please don't drink 50 litres.
No, I won't.
Actually, I read somewhere, because I put in my phone trending, like what's trending at the moment, because I thought, I'll get some news, what's trending. And Anne Hathaway, which she was talking about alcohol and how she's decided to quit alcohol for 18 years, the next 18 years. And I was like, what? So apparently, yeah, she was on Ellen and she was telling Ellen this, and there was 2 incidents. So she's got a 2-year-old son, I think, and she quit in October last year because what happened was she dropped her son off at daycare or something and she was really hungover and she thought, this is not good. And then she rocked up to a meeting after drinking all night with Matthew McConaughey to, like, this meeting, like, for, I don't know, some film. And then she apologised for being hungover and they go, oh, we didn't even notice until she came in the following week and they're like, oh, now we notice.
Oh.
You know? So those 2 incidents, like, I don't know if she'll sustain the whole 18 months, but she just didn't want to have a bad rep for her son in herself.
Yeah.
So, but
interesting.
Like, oh, so, you know, you can earn millions of dollars and still have the same problems as the people that don't earn millions of dollars. So yeah. Okay, I've got a few more questions and then I'll let you get on with your day.
Oh, good.
Cool. So what's your greatest fear and how do you deal with it?
You know, I'm going to probably change what I maybe preempted.
That's all right.
Yeah, because it's so heavy and dark, but I suppose, you know, the fear of death or sickness or, you know, it's pretty real, right? You know?
Yeah, it is. Especially when you have a death in the family and you're like, oh, that's so close.
Yeah. Or, you know, obviously, again, I speak to a lot of women and, you know, they might tell me stories about friends' sons who are, you know, quite unwell and, you know, you always sometimes I might, you know, look at symptoms in my children and I might be a bit full on and, you know, rush them down to the doctor. I have done in the past, definitely, for little things, or I've thought things have been worse than what they were. But I suppose that's just a fear, right? I suppose, you know, we're all going to go that way, obviously, but I suppose just health and well-being and, you know, wanting to ensure that I'm around for a long time and, you know, not leaving kids prematurely, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always say to my husband, I go, well, I'm going to live forever because my grandparents are still alive. Like,
bless them.
My pop is 95 and I think my nan's 90. So, like, they're still going. So my dad hasn't even had a death in the family since, I reckon, a good 30 years. So, like, that's amazing. And he's very blessed to still have both of his parents on the earth, really, when you think about it, because my mum...
It's so amazing.
My mum's lost both of hers, you know? So it's really like, So 50-50 chance, really, just surviving to 100. My kids reckon I'll be 108 when I die.
Oh,
and they reckon they're going to live to 180. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't personally want to live to 180, but like, if
Don't worry, come to me. You'll only look 70. You'll be fine.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh my goodness. Okay, now I only have quick questions, and then I'll let you get on with your day. Okay, question number 1. What websites have you signed up to recently that you actually find value in receiving their emails?
This is an awful answer. None. I don't. I'm one of those people that might sign up to a million things, but then as soon as they hit my inbox, I just press delete. I don't even open them.
Oh, no. Are you more into Facebook groups?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, in a big way.
Which one's your top one? There's
one that I particularly enjoy that a local woman I know has started, and it's her tribe of mainly women, I think, and they're quite feminist, and they talk quite openly about horrible experiences with men or ex-partners, or they might document a date they're going on, or they're
is this
really,
group
really
called?
I don't know if I should say, because it's a closed group and she only invites people that she wants to invite. So I'll check if I get permission to share it later on. But it's actually quite hilarious. And I don't partake in commentating or anything like that, but it's just a great read. Or they might just share a funny article, or that, to be honest, actually one of them is probably relevant to the kids topic. I don't know if you saw it on Facebook. A mother in the US asked the question, my 3-year-old is unvaccinated. How can I take precautions to stop him from getting measles or something of that effect? And the comments under the thread are hilarious. Hilarious. You've got to check it out if you can find it.
Oh, my God. Idiots. World's made up of idiots.
Yeah. So it's... So it's just, it's a funny page that I like, reading a lot on. There was one called Inappropriate Mums, which was a bit much, and I got off that one. I got off because it was just, there's a lot of content there and it was taking up a lot of my time. So I just purposely removed myself from that one. But yeah, the other group I suppose I put most of my energy into is my own VIP group for the clinic. So yeah.
Of course. What's one piece of advice you'd give your pre-baby self?
That it will be okay eventually, that you'll get yourself back. Yeah. Because when I first had the kids, hit me like a ton of bricks, definitely. Yeah.
You had another one straight away. You had 2 pretty close together.
Yeah, well, funny enough, I had a hard time having those kids, so I had a couple of miscarriages prior to that, got diagnosed with a blood clotting disorder, so then had to, take a lot of medications basically and be highly monitored to have my kids. So first one was a blessing, but second, didn't plan on doing it that close together. But you know what it's like when you have a baby and you get a night out, you're like,
never again.
Next minute, okay, I'm having another baby. So, no, that was good. But, yeah, I suppose having the 2 so close together and having my daughter, who was quite a full-on toddler, I was like, oh, God, again, maybe what have I done?
Well, if you've got one that's full-on, you might as well have 2, really.
Yeah. Oh, my son, easy peasy. Easy. It's just always been my daughter, but bless her, she's very strong-willed, and I don't know where she gets it.
Okay. I think I know where she gets it from.
She'll be fine. I won't have to worry about her.
You'll have a best friend in her in about 10 years. 20 years?
Good.
No, 15. About 15.
Good. But, yeah, just knowing that I was going to find my identity again and, get me back again.
Yeah, it takes a little while. And you find that you changes as well.
Yes.
And final question, what's the most useful or useless baby item you have?
Well, it was a while ago now, but the thing I've held on to, which I still use, is those Vicks vaporizer things where you put the oil in and, if they get the cold and they can't breathe, and even for myself, if I get a little cold, I still put it on my room. I think it's fantastic.
Beautiful.
It's just something that, means that kids aren't waking up 20,000 times a night with, blocked nose and can't breathe. And
yeah, I know that's not fun.
So I've even given them as gifts to people because I think it's something that you wouldn't, it's not the norm. But yeah, it's something I definitely still use. Love it.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Belinda, for being on the podcast.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure speaking with you this morning.
No, you too. I really, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thanks for listening to the latest episode of the Busy Mum podcast. Don't forget to let your friends know and also subscribe to the iTunes channel and also my socials if you want to see what I'm getting up to. A brand new episode is out every Monday morning, just like clockwork.